alive.
Welcome to Season 2, Session 5 of our Sea Dogs GURPS campaign. I am
Hi,
Gigaman,
everybody.
today's
Giga.
GM. This session's audio will be made available as a podcast. See the description for details.
Will it really?
It will. Some crazy person goes through and does all that stuff.
So,
All right. Nosh, do you have any character business for Lieutenant Rogers?
9.
I thought I would make a recommendation. It's possible that he has been learning Spanish up to this point, and given his recent solo outing, having to resort to his own translation, he might have pushed himself over the limit to broken.
Yeah, possibly.
I think we actually did that same thing with French when he was in Port-au-Paix.
Well, I can put a point in Spanish broken.
I think it'd be 2.
Maybe 2.
Well, it depends on whether you want to be able to read it too.
Given that they're the same alphabet, technically you don't have to have the alphabet. I think there's some funny business there, but that's up to you. It was just a recommendation. Junkie, do you have any character business for Sir Randall?
I picked up storytelling or public speaking storytelling.
Right. Did you pick up Connoisseur?
I had, yes.
Right. Okay.
Connoisseur of what?
I meant to look and see. Was it
Artifacts is
or
what I
something?
wrote. Artifacts is what I wrote down, but I don't know how
Gotcha.
that's helpful.
Ronky, do you have any character business for John Hayden?
I do. I wish to increase his diplomacy. What was the other thing? His shooting ability.
His shooting ability.
His guns. And I think that was it. Yes, that's it.
The last time you actually pulled the trigger. Well, actually, I guess we know when it was. That was a little over a week ago.
And he
Mel,
missed.
do you have any character business for Claude?
Nope, not today.
Rigel Kent, do you have any character business for Dr. Spencer?
I do, actually. When I was looking over my character, I realized that last time we played, what was it, 2017? Is that right?
I think.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
Way back when, for some stupid reason, I had 12 stinking points in sleight of hand. And
Oh, right.
I had no idea why. So, with GM permission, I reduced that to just 8 points. I still don't know why I have sleight of hand, but hey, apparently I have sleight of hand. And with the other points, that allowed me to go ahead and add another one of the powers, which is basically the true scene from Sonic Powers. But it obviously it's magical. And I have added limited use once a day, nuisance effect. The ability causes pain, so he's got a headache whenever he's using it. Unconscious only and uncontrollable. So the GM has something else to remember. Basically, it lets me see through illusions and crap. If it works.
One may never know.
And since it's using the Sonic Powers skill set, it also added 1 point in a true scene skill, which I'm not seeing on my character sheet.
Well, let's see. So, GM business. One of the things I decided to do as a result of some of the discussion after last week was the crew members are going to be contacts. So basically campaign contacts. They each have their own contact skill and level. Their availability will basically be all the time, and their reliability is going to be usually reliable or something like that. I won't get into the specifics of their contact skill, but some of them you probably already figured out. Second point, I'm not going to do it right now, but the plan is to get the SOP situation to a point where everybody can just say they're going to be spending this much money at port per day, and then we don't ever have to ask that question ever again, and just deduct it from your monies. In the meantime, by request, I have created this document for handling the commerce stuff, and also I've got the quick prices at the top, so we don't ever forget what the basics costs are. And lastly, I keep forgetting to bring up rumors, so you're more than welcome to remind me from time to time that, by the way, I should be getting rumors here. In the meantime, I will attempt to remedy that to some degree. And with that, Harbor Log, Saturday, February 17th, 1725, Havana, Cuba. Cool and somewhat cloudy with a light breeze from the west-southwest. Having just caught up to the man he presumes to be Pickford Rodney and lost him in the hinterlands, William Buck Rogers is walking back to Havana thinking of how to reacquire him.
This is true.
Indeed. So, given that, we had briefly introduced the topic in Discord between sessions, but now we need to complete the deed, as it were, as far as what is Rogers going to be doing to attempt to reacquire his quarry.
There must be
has-
someone in this city who knows the lay of the land, and I could potentially pay him to accompany me to track Pickford down, or at least to get on his trail.
So you would search for a guy to help you search for a guy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I thought I would give you a rundown of the facts as you know them, and perhaps you can make a more informed decision. You don't know a whole lot about Pickford Rodney individually. You've only just seen him for the first time, and you only knew him, well, you didn't really know him at all. Actually, I guess you might have picked up a little bit from people who may have known him while you guys were in Kingston, although he had moved away from Port Royal like a couple of years before that. That said, what you do know is that he gambled away a painting, which he said was worth a mountain of gold in a game of cards. So he is either an idiot or a liar.
Or both.
Or both. The jailers...
Or just really bad at cards.
Or that. The jailers were under the impression he knew the location of a treasure. The jailers were under the impression that he might be lying about that and were threatening him. The warden did not tell anybody where he was going when he took him out of the prison. And you do know by the origin story here that he was referred to as a pirate captain.
What's the population of Havana right now?
27K.
I'm looking right now in social engineering on the search for people.
Yeah, I've already got those tallied.
That's nice. I don't have your notes.
Well,
you can share them with me if you want to, though.
Some more facts. Pickford Rodney got thrown in jail, which means he is not a criminal mastermind.
Dude, you're looking for Dewey Crow.
He was also in the process of being executed, which means whatever he did was apparently not insignificant.
Apparently, he had a very good time.
Or he was framed really, really badly. And as Rogers had been hopping around through gambling houses and taverns and such looking for him yesterday, I guess, well, and most of the day, you will note that he has been referred to by various different titles, none of which were pirate captain. There were various reasons for his arrest reported. There was talk of him talking of buried treasure, and there is a general undercurrent of suspicion that he might have cheated at the cards.
What?
He is apparently not attempting to keep a low profile very well at all. He wasn't exactly hard to find in that regard.
That's not necessarily true. He could be trying and just really suck at it.
Or he just really sucks at it. And as far as you heard from the reports, nobody's spoken of any friends of his that he might have, although some enemies have been reported. Probably owes money to people. Also, he ran away from the graveyard, which means he is not a fighter. And his tactical abilities are questionable, as observed. And you will also note that he is not a competent rider of horses.
Well, you say people didn't refer to him as a pirate captain. What did they refer to him as?
As I said, various different titles, most of them royal something or other, some kind of office.
Plus that damn son of a bitch.
That came up a couple of times at least.
Well, I think perhaps I will go and see if I can't find a bar where some gambling goes on, and maybe he'll return to town, because where else is he going to go?
Well, in that particular case, I will have you roll. Yeah, let's roll that into the box. It's either going to be IQ -6 or strategy -6, whichever's better. Either of your strategies will do in this case. If you have something you could complement with, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head, though.
Oh, let's see. Smuggling.
I suppose you could do that. Yeah, I could see that applying here. Smuggling, spycraft could work there too, I guess.
Well,
So
I think
that
I
one
will
you can
set
roll
that
open.
All right. Well, I will. Okay, I will go with. Okay, I will do a spycraft roll in the open.
Roger.
Roger Rogers.
All right. So your IQ or strategy will be at -5. That will remain in the box.
What's in the box?
Damn.
That sounds good.
All right. So for the record, you have just made a default roll of intelligence analysis, in case you're keeping track.
Okay.
Oh, hey, that's a new skill to pick up.
And among the bars at which you have received reports of his activities, you have more or less triangulated his position to a specific area, and have a couple of good ideas about particular boarding houses or hotels or whatnot that he might be might have been quartered at least before he got thrown in prison.
Okay.
Well, that's something.
So, having said that, does that adjust your plans at all?
Just say again that triangulation piece, please.
So you have narrowed down the likely headquarters that he was using before he got thrown in prison to a particular area in town.
Specific neighborhood kind of thing.
Within a couple of particular hotels, boarding houses, whatnot.
Excellent. Then I shall head down that way. I'd like to perhaps simply use observation if I can.
So stake it out.
stake it out.
Stake it out.
Make sure you
Indeed.
take some steak.
Will you be getting assistance in this regard?
Well, I guess I could get the good doctor again if he's
Nope, I'm not
busy.
I have no
But-
idea.
But I think I will just go and do it myself.
All right. Keeping up with the tradition. Indeed. Meanwhile, Mr. Spencer is has been picked up by the coach of
I ain't got
a
into
guy
that
now.
thing.
Well, okay, he hasn't got in yet. Damien rushes open the door and said, "Hello, Mr. Spencer. Why don't you join me?"
I'm quite surprised to see you here, and I'm also going to glance at Dora because I'm not entirely positive this guy's actually here, or if I'm imagining all this crap.
Well, Dora appears to be looking directly at him and sort of has this what the fuck look on her face, at least for a brief second. You think maybe he did too.
Great. You know, I'm gonna at some point Spencer's gonna be like, why does my head always hurt when I'm around Dora too? It's probably Randall's fault.
Well, probably.
And I've already reminded the player, but for anyone watching, the last time Spencer encountered Mr. Rush was in Santo Domingo in early January, so at least a month ago.
And people looked at me crazy afterwards, like he wasn't actually there. So, did he leave? Did he leave the tea set? I can't remember.
The tea set was left, yes.
Right. So that's still on the boat.
Probably still have it, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Spencer's the first thing he's going. It's like, oh, I'm surprised to see you here. Oh, I must apologize. You left your tea set. I don't have it on me. It's still on the ship. I can certainly return that to you if you'd like it.
Ah, well, consider it a gift.
Oh no, we can't just exchange gifts. We're still strangers.
He is
I need to pay something of equal value for it.
got a knowing smile on his face and says, "Well, why don't you climb aboard and we'll discuss it?"
Will you allow my companion here to accompany us as well?
Indeed, and well met, miss.
Dora, this is Mr. Rush, and this is Dora. She unfortunately is unable to speak.
Ah, indeed.
And I am totally accidentally using Dutch so she can understand. Probably not even thinking about it.
As you settle in and close the door, Rush knocks on the roof and the coach begins clattering off in a generally townward direction, as far as you can tell.
Yep, we're going straight to hell. See you guys later. So,
And,
what brings you to Havana, sir?
You know, I didn't actually think about the answer to that question.
Mission accomplished,
some,
everybody.
There's some back and forth with the typical pleasantries, including what brings you here.
That's cheating.
And he goes on and says, "You've seen the treasure fleet in port, no doubt. It's been nearly 10 years now, come this July, I think, since 2 fleets were lost along the coast of La Florida. Each one of those ships in the harbor bears enough gold and silver to buy a small country, and the might of the Spanish Empire depends on them entirely to pay its debts and continue to make diplomacy, if not war. And yet, one otherwise insignificant act of nature, and it all sinks to the bottom of the sea. Nature is chaos, my friend. It's a wonder they were able to recover as much as they have between sharks and pirates and whatnot. But never mind all that. How goes your search? Have you found what you seek yet?"
Oh, no, I'm still in the process of looking.
Totally random, I know, but I happen to know of a private library in Portobello. It's a private collection, magnificent. The owner is a gentleman called Erasmus Wolf. In this library is a book that might interest you. It's called The 9 Gates to the Kingdom of Shadows. It is far more interesting, shall we say, than he realizes, I think, and perhaps more useful to your endeavor than the trifle you now carry. He nods in the direction of your book.
Wow, that's very very pleasant of you, sir. Did he say Wolf? I know he said
Yeah.
Erasmus. Well, and damn it, every time I hear Portobello, I just think of mushrooms.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to.
And now I kind of want to go to Texas Roadhouse to get that Portobello mushroom chicken. Damn it, GM. Where is Portobello? Do I know where Portobello is? Does he know where Portobello is?
I'll tell you what, you could at least make an IQ roll. which you're pretty good at typically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you say that. Oh, hey, yeah.
Yeah, you know that's in what we would refer to as Panama,
And now I want to sing.
and is not a small town, and is also
Wow,
Spanish.
such information is very, very valuable.
Indeed. If you're interested in seeking this out, I have something that might be useful to you. And he pulls a ring off his finger and hands it to you.
God.
You would say this is probably iron. And if you do go, give Erasmus this ring here, and he will recognize me and let you in.
Oh, well. Let's see. How do you basically get, pay for that sort of thing? Trying to figure out the phrasing.
Yeah, I don't think I was thinking in that regard either.
Because I'm operating on the and Mark will definitely get this since I know he's read the Dresden books. The whole nothing for nothing in terms with the Fae, where it's like you do not get anything for free.
Well, he just pulled an iron ring off his finger.
Yeah. Okay.
Fey and iron don't mix.
Yeah.
Also,
but
the tea set was silver, so
So I could totally be completely imagining all of this. In fact, I am imagining all of this, including the other PCs. You guys are all figments of my imagination.
he looks at you funny
Possible.
and says, "Are you all right, sir? Are you in pain?" And you are indeed in pain because your head really hurts. Suddenly
Slight
got an ice
headaches.
cream headache.
Slight headache. We did some running earlier today as chasing a miscreant, and well, not enough water or limes.
You realize as you are sort of fighting off the momentary pain that while Rush looks real to you, there isn't anything wrong there that you can see, but at the same time, something feels off, like you're looking at a reflection in a mirror and it's backwards.
Well, I actually need to double check stupid pain, what that actually does.
It's probably an IQ penalty of some sort.
Well, it's not chronic pain, it's an actual condition.
Right. Well, it's temporary, I presume.
I think the way I was approaching it is that it would last for as long as the power effect, for lack of a better term. So in D&D terms, it's like if you cast detect magic, it lasts a couple rounds. I don't know however many rounds it. Let's just say you cast a spell and it lasts a minute. So in my the way I was thinking is, if I did something like that, in this case, it would last for that amount of time. So it would be like, oh, headache for a freaking minute, and then it'd go away.
I think a typical activation of an advantage is typically considered to be a minute, unless otherwise specified. So you can consider it thus.
Right. I found it. It is an irritating condition. Pain is a penalty to all Dex, IQ, skill, and self-control rolls. This is -2 for moderate, -4 for severe, -6 for terrible. I don't think I determined any of this. I think it'd probably be moderate at best, because this is just like a 5% modifier on the power. And for those vaguely curious, is why I was doing that is my thinking is he doesn't have an actual teacher, so he's sort of stumbling through this. So he's probably doing it wrong. In fact, since he gets terrible headaches and can't control it, he's definitely doing it wrong.
Speaking of that, as he is clearly amused a little by your squinting and sudden pain, and he seems to know what's going on, and says, "The the pain would be far easier to deal with if you used a focus of some kind.
I shall look into that, and I cannot accept this simply out of the goodness of your heart, sir. Tell me, how can I repay you for this?
This ring is not a gift. It is, you're merely borrowing it. All I require is for you to return it one day and tell me what you found.
I'll sort of glance at Dora to see if she's like wigging out or is asleep or not there.
She's just like, eh?
Quick, hand it to Dora.
She shrugs. She doesn't know what anybody's saying anyway.
I'm talking in
pick-
Dutch. Totally wasn't. He's probably not even paying attention to that fact. Well, if you insist, I suppose we can see what we're doing, or see what we're doing. That didn't come out right. That's okay. I'm a crazy person.
Does Mr. Spencer have any further questions before we close this encounter?
I am going to do the thing that you mentioned. Well, I think it was in the first, maybe second session, where is there something blatantly obvious that, according to the GM, that the player is an idiot and didn't think of?
Very well. As a reminder, you met Madame Cassandra after you met Mr. Rush.
Right.
Also, I don't think you discussed the Master
But
of Crows directly with him at all. And if I'm not mistaken, you also encountered those cultists, whatever they were, after you talked to him.
Cultists. What cultists? I don't remember cultists.
I believe that was Santo Domingo, where you ended up with a charm of some kind. Hang on. This thing.
Don't remember cultists. Why don't I remember cultists?
It was a long time ago. In real time.
Wait, okay. Yeah, because that's when I used, I think, serendipity. The guy dropped it.
Mm-hmm. Or did you accidentally grabbed it or something and popped it off his neck?
Yeah. So I'm
They
gonna
were the
cast
ones in the
something.
house raid, right?
There was the other day, or actually, well, was that earlier in this day? That was earlier this day when you were talking to the merchant and he said that there were a couple of raids on people's libraries around here.
Let's see. So how big and how heavy is the pendant? I mean, is it like something that doesn't actually count towards encumbrance?
Oh yeah, it's not a big thing. It's like a little
Okay,
necklace.
so I'm gonna sort of I don't know if he wouldn't wear it because that's dumb, but I think he's gonna probably consult or reach into his pocket of his jacket. Oh wait, whether he's wearing it or Dora's wearing it, I don't know, and extract
Did he actually put it in his jacket? You may
that's a
roll if you
really
like.
good. Let's see, which one is that? That is trivial detail. Nope. He thought he put it in there. Now he doesn't know where it's at. Right. So in that case, I think he'll probably, ask if he's recognized or recognizes the symbol and describe it. It's a upside down
Right.
triangle inside an eye shape.
That's well, that is interesting. I have no idea who that might be.
Well, yeah, we happen to run into some other miscreants at insert location here that the GM said, and I completely forgot because I was typing something else.
That was Santo Domingo?
Right at that place. And I found it rather interesting. Now, let's see. I think he might also ask if the title Master of Crows means anything to this man. And he is, in this case, definitely trying to watch him in case wait. He also has body language, which may not matter if the guy isn't really human.
Well,
But regardless, I rolled those in the box, so I have no idea what I rolled.
well, in your expert estimation, you would say that there was a bit of an eyebrow uptick when he said he did not know.
somebody out. I'm like, why are you lying to me? After they gave me such a nice, pretty ring, which I'll probably forget about.
And may make your hand fall off.
That's true. It could be like the kryptonite ring that Luther wore in the post-crisis comics, where gave him cancer.
Anything else?
Let's see. You mentioned Mistress Cassandra. I'm not sure how that would necessarily come into play here.
She specifically told you not to listen to this guy.
Right, she did. See, I had completely forgotten about that sort of thing. But then, hey, Spencer may have forgotten about that too.
That's true.
What would that be? Come on, click, click, click. That might be also that. So, well, he didn't completely forget about it. How does he approach that? I guess while he's fiddling with the ring, is like, I happened to meet a woman who indicated you were, she suggested I should be very careful about trusting you.
Indeed. Who was this woman?
Mistress Cassandra? Giving him a hairy eyeball.
He looks up and sort of ponders for a second. And, right. Yes, she and her kind serve only themselves and their insignificant agendas. They
Her kind.
think far too highly of themselves. I recommend you pay her no heed, though I suspect you will anyway.
Her kind?
I don't think
Cut
you are
to-
quite.
That's racist!
I don't think you're quite ready for such knowledge just yet. Perhaps at a later date. And with that, the carriage will come to a gradual halt. And
At least it didn't stop abruptly.
Mr. Rush will open the door and said, well, it's very pleasant seeing you again. And you, Miss Dora. And he steps out of the coach and tips his hat to Lieutenant Rogers, who apparently is walking down the road just where you stopped, and says, the coach is yours, good sir. And then walks off in another direction.
Oh, I hate it when he does that stuff. No, help Dora out.
And in case Nosh wasn't paying attention, Rogers, that's you.
Yep.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Also, in case it didn't register to Mr. Rigel, that's Rogers.
Yep, I got it. Oh,
And
hello, Lieutenant.
The coachman sticks his head around and says, was there someone else in there? I don't know quite why I stopped here, but you're paid up, so get in.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Did Rogers see the guy leaving?
We saw
Did
him walk past.
So this coach just arrives and the good doctor's in it.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you were running. How'd you get a coach?
Well, how convenient. Where are you going?
There's more. We were coming back. We were, we all right. Under Dora's look, he will amend. I got us a little lost.
Yes, I remember hearing your plaintive cries somewhere in the distance.
Yes. Well.
Are you able to assist me?
I suppose. What assistance do you need?
Well, I'm just going to loiter with intent in this fine neighborhood.
Gonna loiter in a tent.
No, loiter with intent.
Well, I suppose I'm not sure why we are loitering, but sounds good.
So, for the record, you guys were approaching town when the coach opened up and stopped there. So,
so we're not into town yet.
You're just within sight of the gate, and the coachman has asked if you wanted to go anywhere and said you're paid up.
Right, we're going to that place.
Excellent. I'll get in the coach as the coach drives around the corner.
It goes forward to 5 yards and stops. Like, all right, you're here.
So is Rogers wanting to go on to his target zone?
Well, I'll certainly explain to the good doctor why I want to loiter in this neighborhood.
Indeed. Then we shall continue. So, for starters, I would like for everyone to roll 1d6. That's appropriate.
I'm the winner.
Are you
One more. Who's missing?
the captain? Because he's asleep. He actually
I'm the
passed out.
winner.
All right.
Or the
So
loser.
that's out of the way. In the meantime, so this is the latter parts of day 2, Saturday, and Hayden is doing his thing, hopping about looking for just talking to random sea captains and whatnot about Campeche, trying to get information about the destination. During the day, he will have seen the Elizabeth, the South Sea Company ship that was here, is clearly provisioning for leaving, and he will have heard that it is probably leaving tomorrow. He has also heard that the big ship that came in this morning was from Cadiz, and it is bearing provisions for the treasure fleet. Outside of that, if you want to putz about for rumors, I will allow a roll for that. Otherwise, you don't you don't get any further information, at least not that I can think of.
Well, he will, try and find some rumors, but he also wants to be on time for his dinner appointment with the captain, the French captain.
Well, he hasn't gotten word back on that just yet.
Well, he'll still be there, expecting the French captain to arrive.
So you're staying close by so you can receive word.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Claude, so you have been actually spending most of the day watching the Le Chasseur, and you have not heard any word of Philip today.
Ooh.
Sometime later in the afternoon, towards the evening, you do note that Captain Dupuy has arrived, and he boards the ship.
If he walks by, Claude will actually try to just intercept him.
He didn't walk directly by,
Okay.
but yeah, so you see that he has arrived.
Okay. So
Your
Claude
opportunity.
Claude will hop down and trot over to the ship and try to get the attention of somebody on deck and relay the invitation. Now, here's a question. Does Claude actually know where the captain is staying so that he can pass that along?
He does not. You say you have a message for the captain, and the mate that's standing there yells at somebody, and somebody yells back, and he says, "You can come aboard."
Okay,
And
Claude
the
will
ship set
climb
sail.
over.
We never see Claude again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Claude is escorted to the aft of the ship to the captain's gallery. Stuff. Where did I put that?
Not there.
Yeah, it is. It's right there, just where I left it. And you catch him as he looks like he's changing his jacket or something, probably about to head out to somewhere.
It's because of all the blood stains that were in the other one.
Yikes.
And you are in the process of delivering your invitation on behalf of Captain Hayden, when you notice off to one side on a little shelf thingy a shiny ring that is
Oh,
sort of
no.
unguarded,
Okay,
as it
give me
were.
a sec.
You
We'll let
have
the
the
dice. We'll let the dice
you have the
decide.
briefest of seconds to make a decision.
Oh,
Damn, she's like, nah, that's not
Claude
the- Ooh,
is
nice ring.
razor focused. Claude's on a mission from the captain. No distractions.
Uh-oh,
You make
he's a Templar.
you make a mental note.
Yeah, Claude will remember what it looks like, but that's as far as
They're
it
the
goes.
enemies of the assassins.
Wasted critical success.
I know, right? Briefly, you consider swiping it, but you don't. And in the meantime, you tell the captain that your captain desires to dine with him, and he asked, "What is this about? Do you know?"
Claude will just shake his head. No, no, sir. I don't know. He just was interested in meeting you and having dinner.
Now, since you weren't here for the previous campaign run, you're probably not aware that this is kind of a thing that Haydn does when he's in port. He'll go have dinner with random captains and just talk to them about random sea stuff. So you've got a
Gotcha.
pretty good idea what's going on here.
Yeah. Okay. So, and Claude will kind of, if he looks concerned or anything, Claude will be like, he just likes meeting other captains and talking about captain things.
You can probably throw out his name. He might, vaguely recognize it.
Well, actually, so he says, so what did you say his name was? Haydn?
Yes, sir.
Think.
Captain John Hayden. Hayden.
Is that familiar? I don't know. Think maybe. I think I do not have time to see him tonight, but perhaps tomorrow I could meet him at this coffee house, and he'll give you a name of a coffee house address, and let's say midday.
Yes, sir. All right. Bin Day, coffee house. Very good.
Very well. Well, good evening to you, sir.
Thank you, Captain. And Claude will vamoose.
Before he gets tempted again.
Yeah. Shiny ring.
The Templar ring.
It's just got a red cross on it. That doesn't mean anything.
Templar.
Swipe or no swiping.
So, Rogers has actually spent most of his day outside of town, so he hasn't been able to go around doing anything with the looking for his spy network. But I thought I would adjust what we spoke of last time and say that he's got some kind of ribbon or whatnot hanging out of his hotel window. I figured that would give whoever it is a place to deliver a message should they need to.
Or a bomb.
Since we discussed the whole X-Files thing, I don't think masking tape has been invented yet, though. And if you pass by the hotel on your way to your stakeout, you will have not gotten any messages in that regard as yet.
Okay.
And Sir Randall is at the library where he just got the news the other day or earlier, and
you changed her picture.
I did change her picture. This one's better.
No, it's not.
I kind of like the other one a little bit.
I like the other one.
The other one was crap. This one's better.
I don't know. This one looks like her head is like too big for her neck.
Somebody's got to be picky. The other one was crap. And apparently
worry.
this is not the final version.
Yeah, don't worry, Mark. He'll change it again next week.
Yeah, especially since we've said something.
I'm like George Lucas in that regard. I can't just let it go.
Oh, well, he can
It's gonna
now.
be Jar Jar Binks before too long.
Yeah, I don't think that would work as well. Anyway, so you had decided to go ahead and go to the hunt with her in the morning. She let you know of the plantation just outside of town where they were to meet up for this. And as the evening closes, you guys are leaving, and she will give you a goodnight kiss and off she goes unless you try to stop her for some reason.
Nope.
I will say that there was some information on Campeche in this library, but it was nothing you haven't seen before.
Because you're a
Well,
connoisseur of treasure.
I am. Well,
And that is Saturday. Now it is Sunday.
Well, it's Sunday for Ronky.
Health roll.
It is actually yes. Although you didn't do as much resting today. In fact, you were running a lot.
Old Ryan Zorak's what they called him.
But actually, he's only got a couple of hit points left to go anyway.
That's right. So, do you want just the roll with the fit mod, or are there other mods?
I'll give it a -2 for being active. Oh, right. Yeah, we should have established that Claude would go inform Captain Hayden. Claude is going to inform Captain Hayden of his appointment.
You will
No,
acknowledge the
today.
time.
Yeah, by 4. I couldn't even help that.
All right, yeah. Sunday, 18 February. It is continuing weather about the same. Cool, kind of cloudy, a little bit. Easy winds out of the, actually, now it's the west-northwest. They've shifted. First off, I would like somebody to roll against the ship's health, -3. And
Not it.
that
Wait, I
health
have that on there,
was
do I? I have that on there.
12.
-3? Yep. So
Yep.
not it.
Whoever
Is it
wants the
just a-
duty.
3d6.
Oh goodness, this is going to be a mistake. Letting Mel roll it.
Yes.
That
Only
is
failed by
a
1.
fail by 1. Could have done better than that. Could have failed by 8.
So noted.
Ship sank.
We'll find out what actually happened to the ship later. But it's probably not too bad because it wasn't underway.
It sank. It was really tragic.
There's only so much that can go wrong while it's just sitting there not doing anything. All right. So, what do we know about today's business? Spencer is going to be doing some of the cargo stuff today, and we'll deal with that when we get to it. And that's pretty much all that's going on that I'm aware of, unless somebody can think of something. I just realized where somebody put boom on the looking for trouble.
That was from last week. Yeah.
If nobody has anything in particular, aside from what we already know, then first I will have everyone make either a perception roll or an observation roll. Let's call that in the box. Seeing as you guys are kind of split off into different directions, you won't be able to help each other. All right. That's everybody. Noted, 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 noted. Let's see. So, hold on, I just write that down. Spencer got that. Let's see. Roger's got that. Payne got that. See, Claude got that. And Hayden. All right. Let's see. What was next? So, mentioned the weather. So, first thing in the morning, as the sun's coming up, Sir Randall is got a date. So he is he needs to head out to a plantation to meet up with Lady Amira.
That seems familiar.
No, it isn't.
Well, it is generic.
So how is he headed out there? Is he going to coach out there, rent a horse, walk? What's he taking with him?
That's you, Mark.
What am I doing? I'm heading there with the coach.
Taking a coach then?
Yes.
What are you bringing with you?
Well, I would assume I know what's appropriate to bring for a hunt. So whatever's appropriate to bring for a hunt.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Me neither.
Do they have their own guns, or do they? Do you have to bring your own gun?
He
you
needs
need
to
a
wear a
rifle?
red jacket.
Probably hunt with a pistol. Well, apparently it doesn't matter because as you arrive at the appointed position, you do indeed find Lady Amira standing about, looking somewhat disappointed as you arrive, and then she perks up a little bit and comes over to your coach and informs you that apparently Don Juliano has taken ill and the hunt has been canceled. Alas.
Well, I have this amazing, wonderful coach, and you seem to have an amazingly open day. Let's make the most of it.
As it happens, she says, she's got all this picnic food and nothing to do with it.
Oh dear. A picnic we shall go.
What? You're not going to go? Well, then just toss it out. We don't need it.
Actually, it's on
Oh,
the
dear.
other side of the island, right, where that dude was supposed to be going.
Okay, just to make sure you understand, that is several hundred miles.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Yeah, never
This
mind.
is Cuba. This is not like Jamaica or something.
Go. You can do it. Drive fast.
Wait,
as you
how
guys
far?
are-
Hold on. Like we're just talking the other side of the island, right? Not like the
No,
end.
it's the
points
other
of the
end
island.
of the island.
Oh, I thought it was just like across the.
No,
the
sadly,
width,
it is
not
not
the
that
length.
close. Yeah, Santiago de Cuba is at the basically the southernmost end of the island, and
I
Havana
was
is
thinking
nearly at the northernmost.
I was thinking it was just the width, not the length.
Nice try, though.
You were thinking wrong. Stop
Well,
thinking
I
wrong.
thought wrong. So, well, I'm
She
sure
she
there's
will
some
also
lovely.
apologize profusely for taking you away from all that. And turned out it wasn't. It was even. It didn't even happen.
Wait, what didn't even happen? Like
The hunt.
Oh, no, that's yeah. She doesn't have to. I didn't want to have to put what's his name in his place anyway. Much rather
There you
spend.
go.
Yes, you did.
Well, I did.
Well, she says that she will try to make up for it somehow.
Well, let's start with a meal and some. And she can show me her wonderful city.
In the meantime, early on Sunday, as everybody else is wandering about town, doing whatever it is that you're doing, you probably first notice there's a fair bit of activity, and then you are perhaps startled a bit by a loud trumpet blast coming from somewhere in the middle of town.
Hold on.
And
I am checking, and I do not have curious. So, but I do have nosy, and that's basically quirk level
Basically curious.
So
Oh, I'm curious.
I am gonna go check it out unless someone stops me.
I guess Payne might actually be close enough to hear it, maybe. I don't know how loud it actually is. But those of you that hear it and decide to ask someone will be told that that is the announcement, sort of a ceremonial announcement that the treasure fleet is leaving. That doesn't mean it's leaving right now. That just means they are leaving. It could be months.
Wow, that seems. Do they blow it every week? Every week?
No, this is just the formal announcement that they are in fact leaving.
I thought they had already announced it, but okay.
So much for OPSEC, right?
I
Up
know,
until
right?
this point, it was assumed. Nobody could tell you when it's leaving. There's the OPSEC.
Oh, that seems really lame. We all
Yeah, I know.
leaving.
It's like now I'm thinking it's like, okay, we know it's leaving.
Well, you all
Someone-
assumed it was
they're
leaving.
oh my god, they're like the cable company, but worse. We'll
Yeah,
be
this-
here between now and the next year.
Apparently, this is an actual thing, by the way.
Of course it is, because that's what you do. You're a weirdo like that.
Mm-hmm. So, Hayden, is wandering the docks, looking for information as usual, up until the lunchtime comes, and then you can go off and talk to your new captain guy.
Hayden will ask LaCroix if the captain speaks English.
I don't believe he spoke English while Claude was present.
He would when he first spoke to Claude. He probably. I mean, did he speak in French then, or was it English?
He started with French, and you just kind of assumed after that.
Gotcha. Claude will respond. I don't know, Captain. We spoke in French, and I delivered the message in French. That's the only language he has spoken to me.
Well, looks like you're going to be getting a meal out of this there, Claude.
Then perhaps you can join us for coffee, Mr. LaCroix.
We would be honored if you would join us.
This is going to be fun.
Maybe you'll get that ring after all.
Maybe so. Yes, Captain. I'll do what I can.
You go on to the coffee house as indicated, and indeed he is there. He is dressed like a ship captain. He recognizes Claude and makes the assumption, Captain John Hayden, I presume, and he is speaking English at that point.
Oh, you may go now.
Claude looks relieved.
Or sad because you weren't going to get coffee.
Let me find my note.
Oh, damn it. That reminds me. Forgetting things.
Captain Dupre, I presume?
Indeed.
Um,
Did that actually share?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. LaCroix, it appears our captain friend here can speak English. Your services will not be needed. You are dismissed if you wish.
Thank you, Captain. And Claude will disappear.
Just like poof.
Like, nope's out of that.
It might be noteworthy that Captain Dupuy has not insisted that you stay or anything like that. Just kind of seems like a formality. And momentarily, as you get settled in, Captain Dupuy asks you, "Are you all right, sir? Should we fetch a physician?" As you have a little coughing spit.
Shall I roll for chronic pain?
It's probably not going to matter, but why not?
Just means you can't make me roll later on.
That's true. This could be a truly clever ploy.
It appears I'm not in pain.
Wow. Oh, right. That's reverse. No, just exhibiting symptoms. So.
No, Captain. I'm fine.
That's a lie.
Of course, it's a lie.
So, what is it you wish to speak about?
Was it 2 days ago now that he was in the fort? I think it was 2 days.
Oh, you don't know when he was in the fort, but you don't think he's been here for a month yet, necessarily.
No, but it was
Did he-
2
did he
days that
actually say
Hayden
when?
went to the fort.
This is day 3. That was day 1. Yes, 2 days.
Yes, Captain. I was recently in the fort. If I remember the fort's name, I'll mention it.
That would be La Fuerza.
And I was looking for some records of that relate to the cardinal virtue, and I was informed by the officer there that you had come in previously and asked about the cardinal virtue as well.
Was that Teniente del Valle, I think? Yes, I met him. A good man, as far as I could tell.
Do you mind if I ask what it is that you were seeking about this ship?
I'm afraid I can't tell you a great deal. I have been tasked to seek out the cardinal virtue.
For what reason?
I was not given a reason, and I do not ask. Just to find its location and anyone associated with it.
Well, you see, I am looking for my son, a Matthew Sumner. He served on
Truly.
board the Cardinal Virtue when it was captured, and that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years. Something like that.
Yes, when it was captured 5 years ago, I was informed that he was delivered here to Havana. He was transferred to the prison, but they have no records of his release. They only have records of his admission to the prison.
When you start talking about Matthew Sumner, he gets very interested, and begs you to tell him what. Do you have any information about his whereabouts?
I do not, unfortunately.
Liar.
Well, I don't. He escaped.
Actually, you do. You have a whole quest on it and everything.
Say what?
Let me remind you there. Yeah, you were told to talk to a guy in Old Providence.
Where's that?
It is off the coast of Honduras, I believe. Or is it Nicaragua? I keep getting those two mixed up. I think it's Honduras.
One of those.
May I ask why the interest?
Well, he is on the manifest. And as stated, he is looking for the anyone associated with the cardinal virtue.
Damn it! I don't have body language. What's
Well,
it default
to be fair,
to?
everybody has body language. Just most of the time, it's sort of subconscious.
What's it default to? Is it perception -6?
Well, I think it may default to detect lies. One of those doesn't default, I thought, but I keep being wrong about that.
Yeah, I think it's detect lies and psychology.
So it
Yeah.
defaults.
Body language,
default.
detect lies -4, or psychology -4. And I don't think you can default to a default.
You cannot.
You cannot.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I remembered something.
It happens.
One moment while I process whether I should tell him or not.
We can hear the gears churning.
Well, he is a Frenchman.
If you are to find someone associated with the cardinal virtue, what information is it you seek? What will you ask them?
He will say that if he finds such a person, he is to bring them to his patron.
Can you reveal your patron? Perhaps we
I
can work
cannot.
together on this task. I have no interest but to find my son, so perhaps we can assist each other.
He will suggest that perhaps if you are interested, if you were to find some information as to his whereabouts, you might send word to Martinique, and he will give you a name. And says, "I myself will not be here for much longer. I leave in another day or so. We'll be heading out to the Bahamas."
We'll say we have just come from the Bahamas, and I'll fill him in on any nautical assistance that it might be.
But nothing that would lead him to Mr. Thomas Friendly, I presume. Or do you care?
I probably don't really care, because I've already spoken to Friendly. I'll withhold that information.
Indeed.
But I will fill him in on anything that might be useful to him as a captain sailing there. I'll report that we were chased by a ship going through the Bahama Shoals.
He will absolutely commiserate with you over Guardacostas, and will tell you that he has, at least to some degree, been tasked to escort French shipping around this area specifically to protect them from Guardacostas. So definitely a known thing around here. And you guys will chat back and forth about various Bahamas stuff, and you'll get the impression that this guy actually does know his shit. He's got some talent in that regard.
Are you able to drop into chat the name and place that I was supposed to send a message to if I find something?
I will make a thing for that. I have to get back to you on the actual name, though. Okay. All right.
I will try once more to try and get the patron out of him.
Will you be attempting to influence him with a skill, perhaps?
I think diplomacy is probably the best one in this regard.
What would you give him in exchange?
I would volunteer to give him all information that I learn. The angle will be that I have no particular interest in the Cardinal Virtue or its crew. It's only Matthew. So in my search for Matthew, if I come across any information, I'll be sure to relay that to the captain. But I'm curious as to why someone would be seeking the Cardinal Virtue after so many years. And perhaps it might have something to do with Matthew.
All right, that seems relatively diplomatic. I'll allow it. So you do a little back and forth, trying to coax the answer out of him, and while you do not get a name, you do get the moniker of the Commodore that he refers to.
And that would be an English Commodore.
Well, he's French and it's in Martinique, so chances are it is not. You will also have heard through the course of the conversation, and that he still does take orders from a man called the Fox, and that is not the first time you've heard that name, Jean-Baptiste Ducour.
I'm going to drop that in chat.
I have a thing for that somewhere because I had to use it before. Where did I put that? I'm starting to think that needs to be somewhere a bit more prominent. No, was that in stories? Was that the notes? Or did I get rid of that finally? Oh, there it is. Haha. Yeah. It's been a while, so it wouldn't surprise me if you forgot. But that name was mentioned at the shindig in Port-au-Pay by the guy that owned the plantation there. I don't recall the specifics of it.
All right. Well, the captain will thank Capitan Dupre. He will offer to pay for the coffee, and he says that he will be in touch if he learns anything that can aid the captain in his search for the Cardinal Virtue.
And he will thank you for the coffee and for the information, and bid you good day.
And it was a Commodore, a French Commodore in Martinique.
In other news, and I just accidentally hit page up, and now I'm in the wrong place. One more time. All right, Spencer.
That's me.
Today, Spencer is going to settle the deal for the English goods that you guys brought in.
Right.
And I will refer you back to the thing.
Yep, I've got that open.
Well, I'll reopen it anyway. And let's see, in this particular case, what we need is the actual price table, because that is going to affect what he will pay for the goods. So, I think at this point we have, so you're going to be using English currency for this, I presume, because I'm not going to presume that. Are you using English currency, or will you be converting that beforehand?
Didn't you say we would be considered smugglers if we were caught using the wrong currency, the Spanish currency?
If
Being
you
that we're
get
flying English.
if you get caught by a guardacosta at sea at some point and you have a bunch of Spanish money on you, they might decide that you're a smuggler. Of
Well,
course, they're
probably
huge.
going to use English money because
They're huge penises, so they're gonna come up with some reason anyway.
Is that
That
like
said,
penises or is it peni? I'm not sure.
I dare not even consider.
Sounds like a broke nosh.
At this point, so given that you're using the foreign currency, your total mods at this point will be a +1 because this stuff is in demand, and you can add
Off
that
the actual price.
off the actual price. All right then.
Well, that's
Well,
sad.
that's not bad. So, given that is the actual price, you can haggle from there if you like. Did you bring anybody with you to assist?
Sir Randall was normally accompany me, but he was super giddy this morning when he bailed, so I figured he had a date. I need someone from the crew who is a carousing, merchanting type. That's Ollie, isn't it?
Ollie knows bars and taverns and stuff.
Right.
If you wanted to get
okay.
somebody drunk and keep them busy for the night, he might be a good one for it.
No.
I don't know if he's a
no.
merchant though.
You need Rogers.
Okay, if the lieutenant is capable of assisting in that regard.
Is Rogers willing to part from his stakeout?
Oh yeah, you're doing the stakeout.
Oh, drat.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave him at his stakeout.
You could
no, I
you
think
could
I'll-
always assign someone else to the stakeout. I mean, we did that with Claude a long time ago.
No, I think it's fine. I can probably hopefully deal with this myself.
And you don't have to haggle. You guys got a really good deal on those goods, so 100% is definitely profit.
Right, but I would still want to do a merchant to try to get slightly better, right?
You can do that.
I'm gonna
let's
try
see.
and I'm gonna fail. So they're like, nah, bro, nah.
All right, that means it goes down by 1.
Boo.
So you
Yes.
guys went back and forth over the price. You ended up he ended up not going as high as you thought he might have started. Let's see. So that was 11, so that makes it 10, which is actually still 100%. So actually it didn't change. Lucky you.
Lucky me. Well,
Which means
technically I'm not lucky. I'm just yeah.
so you will
serendipitous.
lose those goods, and the base price for goods is $12.50, so you will be getting that back. So no more goods.
That's on the party sheet.
It is on the logistics sheet on the player sheet there, and I am looking for the thing. We need $12.50 added, and it's done.
Logistics. What?
Logistics tab on the player spreadsheet.
Oh, not in Fantasy Grounds.
Oh no, not in fantasy.
Right.
Grounds, sorry.
I was looking at the party sheet, going, what the hell is he talking
That
about?
party sheet, right? Which
You should update after the
should
game.
potentially be updated with the new amount. So what was the ending profit up there?
I got all
Let's
of the
see.
profit.
Looks like you guys made 750 GURPS off of that, which I don't recall
Doesn't
what that is
seem
in
like a
pounds,
lot.
but compared to the fact that you spent 500 on the goods in the first place, that's you've more than doubled.
Clearly, the couple of semesters when Spencer took business before he said, God, this is boring, paid off.
In the meantime, when you headed out to the plantation, this happened to be the same guy that told you about the library hit, and as you were going out there, and you noticed that his place was a little more. The security had been heightened somewhat, and he will actually reveal that indeed some lurkers were caught at the edge of the property last night, and he decided to bring in some help.
What does he know about the lurkers? Did they actually capture them?
They did not. They ran off.
Well, How fortuitous for him.
Now, also in the commerce category, Spencer has, at this point, located a seller who has around 10 tons worth of dried tobacco that are available for sale at a decent price.
Okay.
That, if you could make a area knowledge Caribbean to decide whether or not you could offload that
I don't
somewhere,
have Caribbean. I just have the Kingston at the moment.
you could potentially default it, or you could look for somebody that you know knows the region relatively well. You
Who
can
among
think
the
of a
crew
few.
is like that?
If you
Including
had to, if you had to
Featherweight.
ask one of the non-PC crew, you would ask Moggridge. Otherwise, you would probably go to either Rogers or Hayden. Probably Hayden. Hayden has more local knowledge. Rogers is a bit more broad.
Okay. Then in the process, I think I will go ahead and seek out the captain and inquire of that, so that I can get
Okay.
area knowledge from him.
Yeah, just to simplify things, we'll have Hayden go ahead and roll his area knowledge Caribbean and see how
You
he
tried to
does.
fail.
He knows enough to know that selling tobacco anywhere in the Caribbean is probably going to be dicey because this is where tobacco comes from. So it's usually on sale here and not in demand. But
That's true.
that said, there are Englishmen who set up factories in different cities that they will buy things specifically to sell back to England. So it's not out of the question that you could find somebody to buy it. The other part of this is it's tobacco. It is a perishable product. It will not last forever. So if you get it, you have to get rid of it pretty quick.
I think you'll pass on that then.
So be it. Payne, his money sense is tingling, saying somebody's losing money.
No.
What? I made money. We didn't lose money.
Well, that's true. You made money, but it's like a government cut. Claude is running around the docks today, as he has been for a while, following Davino around a little bit, as he's still looking for work. And so
That
far
damn
has
monkey
not
keeps
found much
getting
of
in trouble.
anything. Until finally, at some point today, some guy took pity on him and decided to give him a couple of reales to move some stuff. And if Claude is in the area at the time and hanging out with him, then he'll go ahead and pay the both of you if you want to do some work.
Yeah, Claude will happily earn a little bit of coin.
So you can roll a d6. Damn. Apparently you moved extra. All right, you got 5 reales.
Sweet.
And in the meantime, you have heard no word of Philip.
Is he going to be here?
She has no idea.
Yep.
No.
But you keep asking, because someday.
Yeah, after doing the lifting and moving and stuff like that, Claude will go find like a inn or a tavern or whatever they are, bar, where other poor sailors are, and just kind of get a drink and just kind of rest and do passive listening for just stories and tall tales and that kind of thing.
All right. I should have actually written that thing down. Why don't you give me an IQ roll?
Because he doesn't want to.
Or hearing. I don't think you have acute hearing. Yeah. You don't pick up on anything in particular that's useful. Some local chatter. Let's
Other than
see.
that, it's just going to be resting to try to, I guess, recover those sanity
Yeah,
or
yeah.
stability or whatever it is.
Yeah, I got to do some of that too.
Well, you haven't been straining. Well, actually, I guess you're running around yesterday, so.
I gotta take
There is
my
a bit of
cello
that.
someplace and just randomly play.
Indeed. Well, as it happens, sometime during the day, probably you're on the way over to talk to Hayden, or on the way back, you're passing through a busy square, and Cora is with you because she's apparently attached to your friggin' arm now.
That's not gonna help convince Randall otherwise, is it?
No, it isn't. And you're walking along, heading back, probably to talk to the seller once again and let him know that you're not going to make a purchase. And as you're passing through this square, you hear a scream from off to one side, and it's a
Heart.
male scream.
Yes, sir.
Is it Randall? Is it Randall
not.
that's screaming? Oh, I said heart.
There is an old man who basically runs up and throws himself at the feet of Dora, and he is just babbling, going on and on about perdóname, mi señora. Soy un buen hombre, which, given that Article speaks Spanish well enough, he knows that he is begging her forgiveness and saying that he's a good boy.
I'll look at her and say, a friend of
Wow.
yours?
Wouldn't have thought her to be into that kind of stuff.
I know, right?
At first, she is surprised at this person, and then in a beat, she narrows her eyes like wait a minute.
Oh dear, she's gonna rip his throat out in front of everybody, isn't she? With her teeth.
As the guy prostrates himself before her, she squats down and takes him by the chin, lifts
Stab
his head up to look at him. She gives him a couple of mafia slaps in the face, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And then does the I'm watching you eye point and lets his chin go. And over again he says, Gracias, mi señora, gracias. Soy un buen hombre, soy un buen hombre. And he will back away in a hurry, crawling, until he gets to a point where he can get up and run.
So I think Article is probably gonna watch this, watch the dude, watch her. He's like doing the tennis head thing back and forth. And then I'm probably looking at it, one day I'm gonna have to ask you to explain why, these kind of weird things.
She just looks at Spencer and shrugs like, ugh. On the other hand, she kind of always does that when it's either complicated or you think maybe she just doesn't want to tell you.
Yep. Starting to think that she's a walking weirdness magnet. Or maybe that's me.
Let's see.
It does occur to me that if there had been any characters that had weirdness magnet, I should have done that with Spencer. But it's fine.
I'll give this one to Claude. Claude, you are going to run into, at some point, you're going to run into Hooper, who is trying to find Mr. Spencer.
Everybody wants to talk to me.
He and Red have apparently been busy today, and we'll explain that what has happened is Hoop was wearing a little wooden carved figure around his neck that Red had made the other day because he convinced Red to give it to him, and because Red whittles from time to time, and some lady saw it and said she wanted to buy it, and Hoop thought, this is an awesome idea. So he went and got Red to gather up a few more of those that he had. And so basically Hoop's been running around acting like Red's agent and selling these things on the street. And they've made a little money, and he wanted to get with Mr. Spencer to see if he could figure out a proper split and maybe talk about entrepreneurialism.
Carl will say, That's amazing, but I have no idea where Dr. Spencer is. I just came from walking with the captain to his lunch appointment. I haven't seen Dr. Spencer since we left the ship this morning.
Like, no, that's fine. We sold them all, so I just we'll find him. Red's got to make more. Red doesn't look excited about making more. As the day wanes, Sir Randall,
Ruh-roh.
you have a pleasant picnic. You
Have a pleasant picnic.
you go back into town. You wander around a little bit, going through the Plaza Vieja and some other stuff, and eventually, she sort of sheepishly says that she would like to invite you to her house. And, well, actually, it's her father's house.
Okay. It would.
And it is not far away, and it is a fairly nice place.
I'm so totally waiting for the shoe to drop.
What?
What a twist!
Her dad's gonna be like handsome Ned.
Mm.
Oh, dude,
Oh
that'd be
man, I wish
awesome.
I'd have thought of that.
So
God.
we're gonna take a break while Daniel
Uh-huh.
feverishly rewrites some stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so she'll take you over to the townhouse and show you around, and you got servants running around and stuff. Father's not home. He
Score.
is on a business trip. Should be back in, I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe a month.
Oh, so it could be handsome Ned.
It still could be.
And so you guys go inside. She'll show you around, give you the tour, introduce the servants, and where's my thing? And one of the servants says, "I have a letter for you, mistress," and here it is.
She's a Black Widow. That's what it is.
She opens the letter and she says, "It's from Papa." And
Oh no.
she reads the letter, and her face falls a little, and says, "In summary, the Papa is returning from his business trip and has announced that she is to be married off to some horrible guy she doesn't even know."
Well, I'm out. No, I'm joking. Oh,
And
doesn't
now
kn-
she is very sad.
she's very sad.
So, decision. Insert coin to continue.
Oh, I know. Won't someone save her from such terrible fate? He could be fat too.
So, if
man.
if Sir Randall is the sort that he doesn't want to get attached to this situation, then now is his out. On the other hand, he could push it just a little bit and maybe turn it into something a little more substantive.
You should marry her. Elope.
Well, that's an interesting
It's only been 3
question.
days.
Bring her on
yeah.
her on the boat. Yeah, but maybe she's the one.
Still the one I run to. The only. Yeah, because we need. Yeah.
Yeah, because we need you singing.
Yeah. Well.
It's not a copyright strike on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a shut him up strike.
Yeah. Right. Like, we're good until he starts singing. Then we're out. Well, Randall's not one to get tied down, but she's also not. Her parents have betrothed her off, but that doesn't mean a whole lot to Randall. But he does feel for her. Obviously, running
Feels
away
something.
with her would be a bad idea. And who knows, things might change.
She could be awesome. She might be a perfect seaman.
She could be a dude.
She could be a dude.
I can't see Anna de Armas faking that well though.
That's a really attractive dude, but
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
wow.
Fade to black.
Well, I
Mic
was
drop.
He gestures.
gonna have you roll
disco
that in the
ball
box.
comes down from the thing. Some Barry White starts playing.
all right.
Mariachis.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you make the roll 2 more times in the box. And no, just once. So make one roll in the box, and if I like what I see, then we'll keep it. So noted. All right, well, that answers the question of whether or not you're going to use an influence skill on her. So she will get her will roll to resist.
If she wants to.
Where did I put that? Because I gave her stats.
Note that I will
And
have been
mods.
regaling her of my exploits and of daring do and treasure hunting and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, that is an interesting question, though. How much of it have you told her?
Oh, just some of the more interesting, fun parts, and like there we were, and somebody,
Attack of the Killer Merman.
yep.
That is so funny though. Critical success on a sex appeal. That's just like, okay. Gosh, I wonder what he's trying to do.
Now, would you like to use luck and or bennies?
Yes.
Would you like to use both luck and bennies?
See,
What?
this is where rolling it behind the glass really is kind of like, what?
Yeah, well, when it comes, luck is easier because then you just roll it in the box and I'll take the better one. But when it comes to bennies, you can just let me know if you want to use them, and I'll use as many as you need, or tell you you don't have enough. All right, so that will do. Let me record the results.
Shall I add to the list?
Actually, go ahead and roll 1d in the box for me. So noted. Damn it, missed. Okay, the
my RP
result.
romance is locked. I can't.
Do what?
Yeah, the GM generated it. He's the only one that can adjust it.
Oh, did I? Yeah, that's right. I
I
did,
think
didn't
so,
I?
yeah.
You know what you could do is create your own, and if you can't just copy and paste it, then I will later, and so you can basically take it over.
Yeah, you can't copy paste, I don't think. I could be wrong.
Well, aside from the role there, so Randall, upon hearing the news that she's going to be married off against her will and all that, decides to give her a good send off and make sure. Yeah.
Remember me.
That's
And
sad. You should have invited her to elope with you on the boat. That'd have been funny.
her response is not unexpected, and we'll pan over to the fireplace real quick and move on. Insert appropriate music.
You cad.
Okay. So this is officially the evening, and let's see. What is Spencer going to be doing after I guess after dark? He's already done all his commercial stuff. He's taken some time off and played cello on the docks or whatever. But after that, are you going to meet up with anybody?
No,
Actually, I guess
don't
at some point
think
you have to go
so.
back and tell. At some point, you got to go back and tell Hayden that that we're not taking on any cargo.
Yeah, I think I'd at least relate that, but otherwise, just gonna have some me time.
Uh,
Find someplace, play the cello, stare at the moon.
so briefly, you go back to Hayden's hotel and inform him that you are not. You decided not to take on that cargo. You bring up the Doris situation at all?
No, I don't think it is necessary for anybody else to know about that, and it may have slipped my mind anyway.
Let me think. Tell you what, I think this is probably going to be an appropriate time for an intermission.
No, confused.
We shall intermiss.
Hey, we're
Yay.
back.
Okay. So Rogers. Rogers has been staking out the place that he suspects might be Pickford Rodney's headquarters, or was, and so he hasn't been hitting the bars or doing anything trying to locate the spy network today. So he hasn't gotten any results on that yet. Nobody left any messages that he's aware of. In the meantime, though, as the sun goes down, eventually you do in fact see. Damn it, where'd I put that?
Over there.
Sorry. You do in fact see Pickford Rodney show up at said place.
Aha.
Telling you, you are chasing Dewey Crow from Justified.
So, my first question is, how well are you hiding, or are you
Well,
attempting to hide?
Well, I definitely will be hiding. I don't want to be observing.
I believe if you're just sitting still, that'll be stealth.
Sure. You say it's evening?
It is at this point, yes.
So can I at least step into some shadowy alleyway?
You may.
All right. Do you want to, is there a mod on the stealth check or just straight up?
Just roll it straight up and let's see how you stand out. Or don't. You don't stand out. When Mr. Rodney arrives at the boarding house, he does not seem to react to your presence or have detected you in any way.
Is he going inside?
He is going inside.
All right then.
He looks both ways before he enters.
Okay. I will surreptitiously go up to a window where perhaps I may peek in or overhear or see something.
Well, if you were to peer into the window, you might see him having a conversation with a fellow that looks like he owns the place, possibly.
Excellent. I'll simply see if I can hear anything of their conversation.
You're not getting any real resolution through the window here. But you get the impression he's asking for something, and the owner's shaking his head.
As in, like, yes or as in no?
In a more negative motion.
Excellent. I'll just wait out.
What do you plan to do at this point?
I plan to continue to observe.
I mean, after that.
Well, what's happening if he's shaking his head? Is Pickford doing anything in reaction to that?
Well, they're having a heated discussion, I suppose.
Can I somehow make some assumption as to what they might be having an argument around? I mean, is it he can't pay to stay in this fine establishment, or?
Well, yeah, he's not going to be able to pay. He was like completely had nothing when he ran away, right?
He was just let out of prison.
That is my assumption. So do I get the sense he's trying to get a place to stay and this guy's saying, forget it?
I'm thinking.
We can hear the gears grinding.
I don't think you really can.
I can imagine the gears are grinding.
Do I have a sense of whether there's a rear exit to this place?
Your expectation would be that there are a lot of rear exits. So, yes.
Very well. Well, if it looks like he's going to be turned away, I may decide to step in and offer to buy him a room for his pains.
All right. Then you will at least get the impression that he is being turned away.
I'm going to wait until he kind of begins to make a move to leave the building before I go to the doors.
And then darken the door in his way.
Go,
Yes, in a
"Hi,
sense.
How are you doing?
You will execute as described. He will go to the door, displeased.
All right. So before he gets to the door, I will make my way to the door and see if he recognizes me.
You open the door and you see Pickford Rudney before you, and he sees you before him, and he starts a bit, and looks like he's got that bolt in his eyes.
All right, I'm going to try and fast talk him to stay where he is. I'd like to offer him a place to rest, and the only thing it's going to cost him is just his time. And I don't really give a rat's ass what he's done with his life or what he plans to do with his life. And I'm too tired to run after him again.
He will respond, well, what I really want is my things back, but apparently he already sold all that stuff a month ago.
So do you need a place to stay tonight?
Well, I am a man of means and all that, but as it happens, well, I don't have any means
means.
because the prison took all my money. So, why, yes, I believe I do need a place to stay, now that you mention it.
Very well. I'd like to offer you an evening's, cover an evening's stay. Get you some food, get you some drink. Perhaps we could even just walk together down to a pub, or I can ask for food to be brought in. But I do want to sit and talk with you a while.
Man, are we going to hear Barry White again?
He will agree.
And then run while you're turned away.
Very well. I'll approach the owner and say I'd like to get this man a room for the evening. And I'd like food to be brought up and a good bottle of, and I look at him, wine, beer, spirits, what?
How would he answer that? Wine, probably.
Excellent. How much will that be, my good man?
And he will give you a price. And you will pay it and buy food. And
All right.
Rodney will sit and eat it and introduce himself as Pickford Rodney, Royal Comptroller General to His Majesty in Havana.
Before we go to the room or get the food or whatever, I will toss the innkeeper some more money and say none of this goes to anyone's ears. Understood?
All right then.
Unless they pay more.
Of course, he is Spanish, so he may not have understood what you said.
So he's like, see.
Money talks. Money talks. So yes, I will sit and listen to Pickford.
All right, well, now that you have his attention.
So why were you in jail, and why were you facing the hangman's noose?
Well, it was all a big misunderstanding. You know how people get at cards sometimes. They lose and they accuse.
Wasn't him, it was the one-armed man.
And this normally brings the death penalty, does it?
It depends on who accuses you and how much they paid the jailers.
Yes, of course. Yes. And why come right back here? I mean, you must realize the danger.
Well, I'm not in any immediate danger, of course, but well, there is Don Salazar who may be trying to kill me, but never mind that. Obviously, I can't leave without my things.
And what things do you need?
He'll go on about, oh, well, he's got his clothes and his books and some other miscellaneous sundries, and, well, it's all very irreplaceable. Some of that is sentimental.
Ah, yes, I understand sentimentality very well. Do you know anything about a painting?
Well, now, before we get on to the painting part, I would like you to make a detect lies roll in the box. I don't believe you had body language. You do not.
No.
You do not.
No.
All right. Well, in case it wasn't either implicit or explicit, you do get the impression he's kind of making a lot of this up as he goes. Now, you mentioned the painting, or you mentioned a painting. And to which he will answer, well, I'm not sure what painting you mean. I did come into possession of a Baroque piece from a fellow called Rembrandt or something like that.
Should fix it.
Sold it for a small fortune some years ago.
What was the name on the painting that I was supposed to remember or somehow know about?
That
Or
was
own.
a Cristobal, which you have a quest for.
This was a name on the painting?
And apparently it's not on your quest. Why is it not there? Yes.
Bad GM, bad.
Yeah, the signature on the painting was a Cristobal or Cristobal.
All right. So I'll say, so what about a painting with the name A. Cristobal?
Oh, well, I don't know anything about that. That's not a. Is he a French artist or is that a Spaniard, perhaps? I don't really delve into the Spanish painters all that much. They're sort of nouveau.
Ah, well, I'm curious. As someone had told me, you had lost it in a card game. You let it stand for 100 guineas, but you said it was worth a mountain of gold, and I can't, for the life of me, understand why.
Well, that is awfully very specific.
And where might this mountain of gold be that you say it's worth?
I said nothing, or did I?
Well, I'm just curious as to why you would leave a painting like that stand. Of course, unless you are in the habit of gambling poorly.
I gamble quite well, sir. Thank you very much.
Which is why you end up in prison, I see.
That sometimes follows gambling well, as you know, I'm sure.
So this painting really meant nothing to you.
All right. So at this point, I would normally be tempted to call that interrogation. You're sort of trying to trick him into actually saying it. I might be willing to call that fast talk. In fact, though, you are sort of trying to confuse him. Yeah,
Well,
that seems appropriate.
Uh-huh.
You are welcome to.
I
You're
think I
welcome to
was
throw
gonna,
some other compliment in there.
well, I was going to think about seeing about detect lies as he talks about the painting.
Well, that's not going to convince him to speak about it more directly. He's clearly avoiding talking about it.
Let's see. All right. All right. Well, I guess a fast talk roll it is. In the box?
That one can potentially be open. I'm just wondering if you have something you might be able to use as a compliment there. You could use carousing and get him nice and drunk.
Well, the wine is pouring, the wine is flowing. So, yes, let me try carousing to help influence.
Indeed. You will get a +2 on your fast talk. Wow. Well, so eventually you get him drunk enough and confused enough that he will actually eventually start talking about the painting as if he hadn't said that he didn't know anything about it. At which point you will learn a few things. One of them is that it was in San Juan. And let's see, yeah, you will have won by quite a bit. Let me get situated here. He will tell you that he was in San Juan some years ago. He was hired to steal the painting from that guy whose name he can never quite remember, Cristobal, whatever it was. And yeah, and he decided instead of giving it to the people that hired him to steal it, he was going to keep it and see if he could sell it himself. And eventually he found out that nobody wanted it because nobody knew it was a friggin' treasure map. So eventually he used it in the card game and figured he would never see it again. As it happens, he was thrown in prison here about a month ago. And while he was in prison, he was visited by a couple of people, some very angry-looking, possibly Spanish dude, whose name may have been Kane. And he had some strumpet with him that he referred to as the princess.
Oh no.
And they may have tortured him for information about the painting. They kept asking about the painting. They kept asking about Cristobal. He told them everything he knew, of course, about San Juan and all that. They wanted to know about the key, and he knew absolutely nothing about that.
Interesting. So you never thought to follow up on this treasure map yourself?
Oh, I did. In fact, I tried to launch my own expedition to go find it. Of course, I never actually found anything. It's very cryptic.
Indeed. And what did Kane and the princess do after they were finished torturing you?
They left.
And you
Honestly, I was
didn't see them
surprised. I
again?
figured they would kill me.
Curious they did not.
He just called me a blockhead.
Indeed. Ah, very well. So they wanted a key to the map,
It seems so.
and you had no idea about such a key.
I did not.
You know, I'm wondering how many people actually got the Kane and the Princess reference.
I suspect it's not a
tip my
large
hat-
number.
I tip my hat towards you, sir. Is the princess's name Ardala?
Those names have already been spoken in this campaign.
Oh man.
And when did you discover that it was a treasure map?
Well, I knew it was something from the start. I just took a guess that it was a map. Actually, I may have gotten the painter drunk. But hey, wait a minute. I think you got me drunk.
Well,
Give me
It's
that
like
Yeah,
a
bottle.
poet, like poet. It's like
after
poetry.
all that
Rhyme,
running
rhyme.
around, in the bush, I figured you would be thirsty.
Oh, that horse
We're
was
recalling it
horrible.
now.
So, who hired you to steal the painting so many years ago?
That was Kane.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're a blockhead as much as you're a foolhardy man, but
Amen to that. Drink. Wait,
wait, what?
he will have also spilled in the middle of that somewhere that that Kane had mentioned the Amazon. So at least somebody in this process knows about what the painting is a map of.
Curious. Curious. So, you say you're the royal comptroller here in Havana?
Is that what I said?
Is that what you said?
I think that's what I said.
Hmm.
I am the royal comptroller general. I oversee the royal comptrollers while they comptrol.
Yeah, curious.
Is that a squirrel?
So did you ever wonder where you might locate the key to this map?
I suppose the painter still has it. If Kane hasn't already run up there and killed him.
And where was Cristobal living at the time when you stole this painting?
Suppose he's still in San Juan. He's very he's kind of a shut-in.
Of course he is. He's sad because somebody stole his painting.
Hmm. Well, this has been most informative.
Well, so you will continue to poke at him until he runs out of answers, I'm sure. What do you plan to do with him in the meantime?
I'm going to put him to bed once he passes out and search his belongings. What little belongings he has.
He has none. He just got out of prison.
You should find out if there's a reward for turning him in.
I'm curious to know if there's just anything on him that could be a clue in any way, shape, or form. Although I'm not going to do a cavity search.
I was going to say he has a tattoo of a city on the left butt cheek.
Can I make out which city it is?
No, you can't.
Gonna have to get really close to find that out.
I am also joking.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So let's see. I believe that is going to be it for day 3. So he will eventually pass out, and he will not wake until the morning.
I
He
will.
will briefly consider rifling through his things and realize he has no things.
I'll. Yeah. I'll.
Where are you lodging him?
Well, in that
Same place?
space. Yeah.
Okay, good. And have you or will you go inform anyone else?
No. I will throw a blanket over him and bid him a good night.
Whew, I thought you were about to say grab a pillow and put him down that way.
Well, things were
And,
different.
And I will bid him a good night and walk out of the establishment and look up and down the street to make sure Killer Kane isn't wandering around and head back towards the ship.
Telling you, you should find out if there's a reward for turning this guy in.
All right. What were you planning to do at the ship? Or were you sleeping? There?
I'm going to go to bed.
Okay. I didn't know you were sleeping on the ship.
Well, maybe if I find a body house on the way, I'll be convinced to go elsewhere.
Hey, Hooker's got to sleep too.
They sleep during the day.
All right then. Monday, 19 February. It's getting close to the end of the month.
Well, my dear, I must be on my way. Our ship sails soon.
This, at least by the plan, this is going to be your last full day in port. The idea was to leave tomorrow.
Oh, well, in that case, then I will spend it with her.
Indeed. So
I'm getting
today,
absolutely nothing done.
I know, right? And nobody knows where you are. Still. The weather has not changed much. The wind has died down a little bit. It's still kind of cool, kind of cloudy. At least it's not rainy. This being the last full day at port, you guys will note that the crew is all employed variously getting the ship ready to sail. You guys will probably topped off your provisions, and we will be having a discussion about the next part. Damn it.
Yeah, where are we going?
First?
I'm going to make a health check. It says it's a new day.
You had plenty of rest today, that's for sure.
And I think, let me double check, but I think I can potentially give him a +1 to that.
Well, only if you're acting as his physician the whole day, and basically spin it all away from you.
Never mind then. Carry on. Yay, you didn't screw up.
Almost topped off.
All
right, so
almost there.
Is that a single point then?
It is.
Excellent.
So, as you know, you guys are in Havana, over there, as indicated. You will be going to Campeche next. It is over there, as indicated. If you follow the magenta line, you will see roughly the course that I would expect you to take to arrive there.
Well, I have to zoom in to see the magenta line.
Did it not zoom you? I reshared.
No, I was zoomed all the way
There.
out.
Oh, you unzoomed yourself.
No, I didn't. It was over.
Did you not?
I don't know. Maybe. I might just be griping because I can gripe.
Well, I'll reshare it anyway, just in case. Anyway, so first off, the trip is, by my calculation, going to be a little over 600 miles, which is farther than the trip from Harbor Island to Havana by a couple hundred, I think. Maybe just more like one. I think it was a little over 400 getting to Cuba. So, bearing that in mind, if the wind and currents and whatnot are similarly against you, you could expect this to maybe take a week. On the other hand, if the winds are, friggin' normal for this time of year, or for this period in the little arrow directions, it could take like 3 days. But what are the
Cooking with
chances of
gas.
that, I wonder?
I think they're really good.
At any rate, so you can follow the northern coast of Cuba till you get to that point there, or there's a number of stepping off places, but I think Cap San Antonio is the farthest west on the Cuban island, and then you can jump across to Yucatan. Now, primarily, I'm assuming you're going to take the route that I have indicated here, unless you want to stop somewhere along the way. So this is going to be a long one, and it wouldn't be unreasonable for you to break it up.
Where's the what are the biggest population centers between here and there?
Points of potential interest between here and there are not very many, but
Oh,
there
haul butt,
is
get there in 3 days.
Cozumel down there. I believe
out
Cancun
of the
is
way.
somewhere around there.
Ooh, Cancun, we can go to the beach.
There are a couple of other towns along the north coast of Yucatan that I suspect are very small, but you could potentially stop there and water or whatever. But you guys don't have a huge problem with provisions. You've yet to even come close to running out. So, now that I just say that, it'll completely all spoil. There are some shallows on the north point there of Yucatan that you'll have to navigate. But this particular area is one that you were already planning on going to, so you will have sufficient charts to cover it, and you won't have any big problems that way. I can tell you a little bit about the Campeche as a port. It is super shallow, but it's really open. So it's not even a friggin' harbor. It's just like open coast, which is kind of the case all over Yucatan. Also, Yucatan is really flat. So there aren't any mountains there, really. There are some hills.
Right. We're going there for Randall's thing, right?
That is
Yes.
Sir Randall's thing. Oh, which reminds me, I can unhide one of these points of interest. That one in Portobello.
Well, it may be very flat, but it is super jungly.
It is super jungly. And I can also unhide San Juan.
Is it flat because it got squashed by a comet?
No,
I think the
got
comet hit a little
squashed by
farther north.
Squashed by a Quetzalcoatl who's stomping around.
Let's
As
see.
you
Did
do.
I don't think I shared those quests either. So, Rogers, you have a new one, and I think I did. I did share the one with Damien Rush.
Yep.
For you already. Okay, good. All right, that's done. Okay, so at this point, basically, I just wanted to acquaint you with the route and see if you wanted to divert from that at all. We'll probably end up doing the actual rolling for the planning either next week or today, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I can't really comment, but I don't know why we would necessarily go somewhere else.
Yep, no other plans unless, take note of where we could turn off if things get weird. Like, hey, food spoils or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we're planning.
Is that the Pirate Tortuga?
No, it is not. That's the Florida Keys. You guys have been to the Pirate Tortuga. Well, a couple of you have.
I thought it's been gone by now.
Yeah, it's not really a pirate thing anymore, but you were there. All right, so having said that, like I said, you can expect somewhere between half a week to a week. If things go really bad, maybe a week and a half. Currently, if you have the provisions you have on hand are good for 9 days. And I think that is less than a ton. Yeah. Oh, that's like 2/3 of a ton. So if you top off, you'll have almost 2 weeks worth. You have no passengers and you have no cargo aboard, so you don't have anything to worry about in that regard. And you're not in any rush necessarily, except Sir Randall Payne, who is currently indisposed. Nobody knows where he is.
He's distracted. We're never going to see him again.
So in the morning, you guys get together and start talking about the route and start wondering where the hell is Sir Randall?
Surprise, she's a vampire.
Well, there's that too. But hey, I could be a vampire that doesn't have to rest.
Vampires of the Caribbean.
Sir Randall is sleeping right now because he's had a long night.
I'm telling you, he's going to wake up. He's going to be tied to the bed. She's like, "Oh, you're not leaving yet, buddy."
There's a priest downstairs.
Yes, make it happen, Daniel. Make it happen.
Ah, man.
Suddenly eventually we see Randall running. He's like, "Move, move, we're leaving."
While you guys outside of Sir Randall are talking about the making the plans and wondering where he went and all that, at some point in the conversation, Mr. Spencer absent-mindedly blurts out something about, "No, what's really crazy is when the doctor comes and tells you that you can't just leave Bedlam. You have to be let out when we say you're cured." And well,
And that's absolutely crazy.
and then he realizes he shouldn't have said that.
And he will carry on like he didn't.
Does anyone have any reaction to this?
I
Also,
think we're all used to the doctor saying weird shit.
But could it be that he was in Bedlam?
Nah. Interesting question there. I wonder if Claude even has any idea what Bedlam is.
Might not.
I figure Claude is probably out working with the rest of the crew to get the ship ready.
Well,
That's
given
also true.
that Claude has been looped into the treasure stuff, Claude is now sort of been unofficially officered. I would guess. I guess that's up to you guys whether or not Claude would be included in the proceedings or not.
I don't know why I'm included in these proceedings. I don't know anything about this navigation stuff.
Well, you're the purser and the quartermaster and the
doctor
doctor
and the merchant guy and the primary translator. I need a raise.
Actually, second question is Roger's here.
Well, he's
Rogers?
slept in the boat.
And if he is here, did he go back and fetch Rodney?
No, I didn't go and fetch Rodney.
Going after this?
No, I will leave him to whatever fate belies him.
Does he need Rodney?
I don't know. Depends on how sure you are you got all the information.
Well, hang on.
Now you got him going, He goes, "Hey, we got an extra hand. Get to work."
I mean, you could go to San Juan and look for a guy named A. Cristobal, but there could be more to be known.
Well, I wonder if I shouldn't just make a overconfidence roll. I mean, I'm pretty self-confident.
That's true. If you have overconfidence. So that means he's like, could actually go, did I get all the information I need?
All right, I will decide to go fetch Pickford.
All right. Very well. So I guess you guys can do that here in a bit. Morning moves on a little, and Sir Randall gets up for a late breakfast. Amira is there still. There is no priest downstairs that you're aware of.
That's sad. I wanted there to be a priest or Handsome Ned, one of the two. Maybe Handsome Ned dressed as a priest, like
Still tempting.
dude in Mission Impossible Fallout,
Mm-hmm.
in Ethan's dream.
And afterward, Amira predictably begs Sir Randall to stay a few more days.
Yeah, if I only could. The obligations of the people that follow me are pull as well.
You should bring her with you. I'm certain.
But
I
if
won't
only I,
do
but if
that.
I could, but if only I could bring you with me. But the sea is harsh, and our mission dangerous, fraught with dangers.
But does he actually mean that, or is he just blowing smoke?
That was just pillow talk, baby. Well, that is a good question, though. So, is he actually going to try to convince her to go, or is he just
That's pillow
going
talk,
to
baby.
move on?
See, now here's what's kind of funny. Maybe he's just saying those things, but she hears something else.
Well,
I don't know how that
leaving
would
the
work.
door open then.
Unintentionally,
Uh-huh. Okay,
letting the
that's
GM
fair. That's a thing.
have his fun.
That's a thing. All right. Well, she swears she's going to enjoy the last day she has with you then, and then tie you to the bed.
And who knows if I return before this individual, arrives? Who knows what fate will have in store?
Indeed. And still nobody knows where he is. All right, moving on. So you guys break off after discussing the route, and you'll go off and start your preparations. You will probably be busy most of the day doing all that stuff, and I'm not going to do the rolls probably until next week. But for the time being, just know that you are doing all that stuff. So provisions, research, all that. So that said, that was out of the way. Claude will be working around the docks all day, and we'll note that still no word about Philip.
He doesn't exist.
And let's see. First, Rogers is going to go back and check on Mr. Rodney.
I want to take a cloak with me as I go to check on him.
All right.
Make sure to take a dagger too.
It's a cloaking device.
Aha.
And you will find him downstairs in the at the table trying to order some food and promising to pay for it later. And talking about this treasure that he's buried. It's worth at least, I don't know how much.
$1.50.
So I will walk over to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and catch his attention.
Oh, hi, you're back.
And now I'm going to fast talk him. I'm going to say, so, my good man, the authorities have found you. They know you're here. I have it on good authority. They're coming to take you into irons. Come with me. We have to get out of here right away.
Oh,
yeah, I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that.
Why would you not?
So if you value your freedom, Pickford, you'll come with me.
Well, all right, I guess. Okay. Certainly. You can go ahead and cancel my order.
And as we leave the building, I'm going to throw the cloak over his head and keep a firm grip on his shoulder and tell him to keep his head down.
And then start punching him repeatedly in the face.
Make no noise.
What shall you do with him now?
He's gonna
Lead him right back to the ship.
Oh, I think it'd been really funny. Walk him right back to the prison.
That would have been funny. All right, so you walk him back to the ship, and what will you do with him there?
Once I get him below decks, I will remove the cloak and explain to him that for his safety,
he's been shanghaied.
We are going to remove him from Havana.
Oh, well, I was going to do that myself, honestly. I was looking for passage, actually. And then he'll start rattling off a number of potential locations like, well, I don't want to go to a Spanish port. I know too many people in Spain, New Spain, that want to kill me, possibly, or just hate me a little bit. So I'm thinking about trying something new and maybe going French. I don't know any Frenchmen, so no Frenchmen want me dead, as far as I know. So I think I might go to Guadeloupe or something like that.
Excellent.
Might that be where you're headed?
Somewhere far away from here.
In what direction?
Oh, towards the horizon. How about that? And I'll pat him on the side of his head and say, "You're probably quite hungover. Why don't you have a nap?"
Knock. Well, it's true. I am a bit hungover. All right, so you're going to convince him to stay aboard the ship in a very stern and final manner.
Yes.
All right. Are you seeing as the crew is going to be in and out of the ship all day? As far as you know, there will be plenty of eyes on him if you want somebody to keep one.
Yes, I'll ask one of the others to just make sure he doesn't leave the ship, and if he tries to make a leave, let us know.
You're going to mention this to like the captain, right?
Oh, I'll find out shortly. Yeah, nobody knows who the hell he is. Actually, I guess Spencer knows. Yeah, this will be fun. Yeah, so Mr. Bold will be here in charge at the time, and he'll say, "Yeah, we'll keep him here. So don't you worry, he won't go anywhere."
Wonderful.
And where will you be headed after that?
I think I will do what I like to do: sit on the deck of the ship, light up a pipe, and watch things.
Ah, well, you may have to go back to your room to fetch your pipe.
Well, we'll go back to the room to get my pipe.
At which point you will find out that you have indeed been contacted. The man at the front says someone left a letter for a Lieutenant Rogers.
Oh, thank you, my good man.
Well, actually, no, he left it for the occupant of that room.
All right, very well. I will grab that and go up and collect my things. And I will open
the letter, which I have to scroll over to find. The letter says, your case of raspberry brandy is ready at this tavern that has a name. You will recognize the name of this tavern from your previous wanderings about town looking for spy rings.
And I recognize this as legit, or can I figure out that maybe someone's planted something?
Well, there's no reason that you know of for somebody to send a note to the occupant of that room, except for that room has the ribbon hanging out of the window. And if the Spaniards know that signal, then something's gone horribly wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I will collect my things and then head over to that tavern.
Indeed. This tavern is on the, I guess that would be the north corner of town. And it happens to be full of soldiers. Spanish soldiers, actually.
Wonderful.
Just remembered how to count properly on your fingers.
A lot of officers.
A lot of officers. Wonderful. And I know what raspberry, whatever they said it was in the letter, I know what that refers to.
You do know that is a commonly used code for you to go ask for raspberry brandy, and hopefully the person will say, "Yes, I know where some is," and then go tell you the secrets or whatever.
All right.
So
well,
you
then I
have
will
been contacted. You have been contacted.
All right. Well, I will go into this protocol you've described.
You approach the tender of the bar, who is a fairly severe-looking Spaniard dude, and say that you have a case of raspberry brandy on hold for you here. And he will say, yes, you can come with me and I will let you take a sample.
Wonderful.
When you guys get out of sight into the wine cellar, he will turn and ask you, you've made contact. What is it?
I've made contact?
You did. You put the signal out.
No. I was looking for information.
No, you weren't. Well, you were kind of, I guess. What is it that you wanted to know?
Oh, I see. I see the link here. Sorry. Yes. Yes, I'm looking to deliver a letter to one Juan Martinez Villalobos, but we have to make sure he doesn't know that we've intercepted it.
Ah, right. Juan Martinez Villalobos is the code name for the governor of Havana's spy master.
Interesting.
You say, have you read it?
I don't know. Have I?
You have actually. You had to get Spencer to read it for you because it was in Greek, and it was something about oh crap.
You fail.
I don't remember off the top of my head the exact nature of the letter, but basically it was talking about a treaty that was coming up between Spain and Austria, I think, and this is the situation that's going to kick off the next war.
He
Okay.
doesn't know it's going to kick off the next war.
Bunch
He
of
doesn't know
PCs
that, but everybody will look at that situation and go, that is going to lead to war.
In intercepting this letter,
The letter I found the thing. It's like informs of an upcoming treaty being signed in Vienna between the Habsburgs of the Holy Roman Empire, which is neither holy nor Roman nor an empire, and the Bourbons in Spain. Despite this treaty being couched as a defensive pact only, Mysterian declares that this is clearly a pretext for a full military alliance between the two and will likely be used as an excuse to retake Gibraltar.
and the and this letter wasn't toyed with. It was just simply we found out this information and now we're going to make sure it gets to
Right.
the spy master. Okay.
So the letter was intercepted by an English spy and or a British spy, and now they want it to be delivered to its original intended recipient, without them knowing that it had been intercepted. So you explain all that to the man,
Yes, I do.
and he says, "Well, that is very interesting," and suggest, "Well, I do know how to get this into the hands of the spy master. If you want to leave it, I can have it delivered."
That would be most kind of you. Now,
Very well
do I
then.
have do I have so I can implicitly trust this person, or must I roll detect lies or roll against my spy skill?
I don't know.
Now, welcome to being a spy. Can I trust
Wilderness
this
some
person?
errors, man.
Probably not trust this person.
But he knows the codes.
It's an older code, sir, but it does check out. I was about to let it pass.
Yes. Well, I will just do a detect lies in the box just to
All right then.
see. And I'm going to use luck.
Also all right then. Okay. So noted. You detect no guile in the man, which honestly should be a red flag anyway because you're talking to a spy.
What are you talking
Very
about?
well.
What are you talking about? Great spy.
I will hand the letter over and trust that this person knows what to do with it.
You'll
And then he
stick
promptly throws it into the fireplace.
the letter in his vest and say, "God save the king."
Indeed.
Here's your brandy.
Thank you. Geez, and I fall over unconscious.
Indeed. You never noticed the needle. All right. Well, mission
Did
accomplished.
he get a mission accomplished thing that suddenly appeared on his screen?
I can take the quest away from him now because he doesn't need it.
You need to like make a little thing that has
I do
mission
kind of,
accomplished.
don't I?
I was going to say if Mark had decided to do the action, the cons ops thing, he absolutely would have needed to do that.
Have a like a
Mission
black
accomplished every time.
board.
Yeah. Boom. Mission accomplished.
All right. So after you've done your delivery, what then?
Well, I think then I will return to the ship.
All right. Everybody else is busy with ship stuff today, and there's not a whole lot else going on. So Rogers, when you get back, you find that Rodney is still there and is complaining somewhat about his incarceration, to use that term, and will tell you, okay, this is great and all. I'm glad to be getting out of here, but there's one thing we need to do before we go, and that
And
is
what is that?
I need to get my treasure.
And how long will it take to get your treasure?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just have to dig it up, but we'll have to be very careful because Don Juliano's men are all over the place, and well, they'll probably see us. So
Man,
we may have to go it.
And now I will do a detect lies roll.
Or you could just assume that he's lying.
Yes. I'll tell you what, my good fellow.
It's more of a percentage thing.
I tell you what, my good fellow. You continue to stay on the ship. I'll continue to protect you. We're going to sail off to the horizon, and you'll have a good number of days at sea to make up a whole bunch of other hogwash. And then you can slather it on at the next port. How's that?
Oh no, I resent that, sir. Even though it's probably true.
Well, you made me chase after your ass, so yeah, you're welcome.
I'll have you know that that treasure is worth at least 1,000 pounds, if it was one.
Yes, well, yeah. I look to find one of the other crew and say, maybe you can assist our fine new recruit in putting him to good use.
Furlong was sort of lurking about there. It says, I could stand to hear a little more.
Excellent.
Yes, my good friend, I have a treasure that I have buried. It's very well hidden, mind you. And it's not too far, honestly. We could probably get in and out without any trouble if we do it at night.
I'm telling you, across town, even though Randall is in the middle of something, his treasure sense starts twitching. He's like, "What?"
Treasure sense stinking. I must
And she's like,
find
"Stop it!
treasure."
I'm gonna tie you to the bed now."
He keeps trying to get up. I've got ship things to do. No, you don't. All right, let's see. I guess what I will do is ask Rogers, or ask Rogers player, do you have any intention of helping him recover whatever it is he's trying to recover?
Well, if it's just a bunch of BS, then no, I have no intention of playing his game.
Well, you have no idea if it's BS until you see it.
Well, or he's just pulling our leg like he pulled the authorities' legs.
There's a non-zero probability of this. Second question is whether or not you would let anyone else help him.
So long as they bring him back to the ship, of course.
Therefore, every other PC that comes through here is going to get the same spiel about his buried treasure that he's just right over there. If we can just sneak out under cover of darkness and dig it up. And of course, all of you are in and out of the ship all day, so you will have ample time to see this.
Oh, not all of us. We don't know where Sir Randall is.
Excepting Sir Randall, which nobody knows where he is.
Spencer
And it
does
may
not care.
start to worry people.
Spencer doesn't give a damn about treasure at all.
Maybe we should send out Mr. Hooper to go look for our friend. Perhaps he's got himself arrested or something like that.
I shall go with him, since I
There I
can
am
speak
tied
the
on the
language.
bed.
No, you're like, stay away. Much too perilous.
How would you even start
Little
that?
peril.
Well, I guess I could stay for a while.
So he probably told people he was going to the hunt in the morning.
Yeah, so I will probably, I'll go with Hooper and, probably start inquiring about where about a hunt. If one was was scheduled, since we're British, and where it originated at.
Well, Hoop will definitely go with you, and you guys
That's right.
can
He wanted
spend a good.
he wanted to talk to me about business
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Well, he will definitely talk your ear off, asking questions about finance and business, and all of it'll go right over his head. But he's going to try. He's going to really try to pay attention.
no. You have a fiduciary purpose for this.
I suppose what I should do is have you roll IQ into the box. Unless you could think of a skill that would be appropriate for searching here. I can't think of one. Well, savoir-faire high society might be appropriate, actually.
I mean, do that too.
There you go.
Guess I'd be at -1 or -2 because of the language thing.
That's true. And let's see, let me think here. You can maybe find out by the end of the day. Yeah, it'll take a while, but you go running around town asking about where anybody's seen this Inglés, and one of the first things you're going to end up finding out is that he's with a woman. Surprise, surprise.
He's such a rake.
And because nobody knows any of the particulars in this situation, it takes a while to really get a good trail going. But you will eventually track him down to the townhouse, and it's probably pretty late in the evening by that point. You will knock.
Sure.
Does Randall appear in his bedclothes?
Oh man, I was hoping he's tied to the bed.
There will be some servants answer the door and ask your business.
And I will relate my business. Attempting to ensure, locate Sir Randall regarding the ship. If he is ill-disposed at the time, we just need to get confirmation.
Randall Payne, see, he is here, and they will attempt to go fetch him. And let's see, 50-50. If Com Junkie wants to roll a d6 and say even odd whether or not he's indisposed.
Even
Go away.
Odd, he's available. Nope, not available. The
Yes,
servant.
I can hear that. Thank you very much.
The servant will return and say he's not available
Yes,
right now.
thank you. I can hear that.
Does that fifth element thing at the end. They're not ready.
with the hand thing. And
Jolly good. Well, I have an idea where he's at, so I can come look for him later. Wait, I didn't mean to say that.
Leave a note, message, whatever.
Yes. I don't know what it is, but it should be witty and
We've missed you terribly.
double entendres,
All right.
and then we shall return.
It is fairly late when you get back to the ship. What time are you going to leave? So you don't need to leave with the tide in this case. This port is very deep. And also you haven't been able to confer with Sir Randall, so honestly setting a departure time is kind of weird right now. What's the plan?
We'll wait until he turns up.
So the plan is leave tomorrow when he turns up.
Yeah.
Unless it's later.
At least we know he's not in a ditch somewhere.
Well,
true.
Certainly in something.
No body, no ditch.
Oh, you said ditch.
Let's see. In the meantime, is everybody going to sleep in their usual places tonight? Or is anybody trying to get ahead of the game and sleep on the ship or something like that? I know some people do that sometimes.
I'm sleeping in my
stay on the ship.
Usual place. Find some place to play with my cello.
Rogers will stay on the ship.
Quad will also be on the ship.
Everybody's checking out. You
Not
guys
me.
had enough
Nope.
of this place, haven't you?
I'm not on the ship.
I'm not on the ship.
Except for Sir Randall.
I'm
and
not on
except
the
for
ship.
Dr. Spencer. So all the seamen are staying on board.
Go.
All right. Let's see. Then I will get a perception roll from 1, 2, 3 of you. Rogers, Hayden, and Lacroix.
As Rodney and what's his face sneak ashore.
In the box or no?
Open. You will know that you have failed. Damn.
Well, that makes sense. Rogers was expecting Rodney to try to sneak away.
Rogers is sleeping with one eye open, apparently. Yeah, he's going to hear some activity on deck in the middle of the night there and note that somebody is leaving. Probably a couple of somebodies.
Well, I will get up and dash for the gangplank.
All right, well, given your exceptional perception roll, you realize you're not that far behind them. They're barely off the ship. And let's see, who's he got with him?
It's like the captain's like not far behind him.
Also true. Well, he might not have gotten up though. Actually, that's a good question. Did Rogers actually explain the situation to anybody?
Oh, yes. Of course, because I really don't want this guy taking any of us on a wild goose chase.
All right then. Apparently it was Red. All right, so they haven't gotten very far. Just a little ways down the jetty. You see Red and Mr. Rodney headed off, sort of into town, roughly.
What's
And
Red? What's Red's last name?
Sherd?
Shirt?
Should.
Sherd.
Nice red
Right.
shirt. Red shirt.
I will call out, Mr. Sherd, if you please.
Mr. Sherd turns around and says, "Oh, hey, I was just, he wanted me to take him out to the thing." At the same time that Rodney just basically bolts.
Get him! Get him now!
Well, Red will take off. Are you taking off as well?
Hell no. I have no more use for this man. He can fall dead. I go back and crawl into bed.
I'm sorry. That just
All right then. Well, sometime later, Red will return and say, "I couldn't catch him, sir.
Of course.
That man's
Well, never
spry."
mind. Yes, he's spry. Never mind. That's fine.
Red is gonna find himself on the worst jobs for a while.
Well, I think, given the current situation, what I am gonna do is
Point and laugh.
maybe a bit of that. First, I gotta find my place, and it's not there.
You're looking in the wrong place.
I am looking in the wrong place.
You should stop that.
Okay, so that was, yeah, that's right. Okay, well, I need to fix that then. This is going to be Tuesday, 20th of February, 1725. Sir Randall awakes in bed, mid-morning-ish, and he finds himself alone. He thinks nothing of this. This is not exactly unusual, at least for start.
It's
He
not
looks
tied to the
to the
bed?
side and sees beside the bed on a nightstand or whatever thing, there are 2 folded letters. One letter on the outside says Mi Amor. The other letter bears a seal that Sir Randall recognizes as that of Maurice Boissonade.
Gosh.
Blah,
You have 2 letters. Which one will you read first?
It doesn't even read the Boissonade, or is it just like
I'll
throw it in the fireplace?
You know what? I'll probably just grab up both, knowing what's probably going on, and prepare and head out. No, I'll read her letter, and then I'll just wait to be upset.
In summary, her letter says, that she could not bear to be present when you learned the truth, and is extremely sorry for her part in it, and admits that she may in fact truly be in love with you, though she is certain it could never be, given the situation.
Oh.
Well,
Also, she's totally pregnant.
well,
That was fast.
Now I'm kind of thinking, can I do a mild retcon as we were departing?
Mhm.
This townhouse.
What is it?
Hold on, I have to find something. I hope he pays for this. Damn, it failed.
Oh. Right. Well, there was the one letter. It was very sad. It was obviously there was a lot more language to it, but that's just the summary.
I'll sigh sadly.
Are you
Pack my
gonna
stuff
weep
and-
manly tears?
No, it's not like I was planning on marrying her or anything.
Maybe you were. Maybe she was the one.
Yeah, you never know. She might still show up at the boat. And then pretty much knowing what Bossanod's, gloating will sound like on with the letter, I'll shove it.
Just toss it in the fireplace.
No, stick it in my pocket and then return and make my way back to the boat in preparations to leave.
So he's not going to read it now.
I don't want to be mad at her.
Damn, I wish I had thought of that. I could totally
Um,
come out of my inn and run into the lady and go, "Oh, hello, ma'am."
But he will find a flower in the garden and leave it on her pillow.
And with that,
Well played, Maurice. Well played.
cut to black. Cue the music. Roll credits. Yeah, you need to read the letter. But that will have to wait. Alrighty. Let's see. Find the thing here. So, stuff to do. All right. First off, character point for everybody. Second off, bennies. Who gets bennies? I'm tempted to give a Benny to Sir Randall for playing along nicely here. And
I hear the
Rogers did
Vader
really
voice
give a
all
good
too
effort,
easy.
though. So Notch gave a good effort here, so I think I'll give one to both of you guys, unless anybody has any other nominations. Nobody.
No, I think I'm good with that.
All right, moving on. So specifically, okay, so we're not going to deal with any stability stuff for this. We have, let me think here. I'll deal with that next time. What I want to do this time is deal with Campeche. So next stop, unless something weird happens, is going to be Campeche. You guys have your SOPs. However, some of those SOPs may not be valid anymore because, for example, I don't know what Hayden is actually going to be looking for over there because he's not expecting to have information about his son at Campeche.
He will still get information for the next leg of the voyage and general information, news for the area.
Okay, but he's not looking for anything plot-wise.
It doesn't hurt to ask. Maybe someone here knows about the cardinal virtue or has heard of Matthew or something, so he'll ask if he's got nothing else to do.
Okay, well, all right. Fair enough. So then I know what to do with that. Claude is still probably going to be looking for Philip. That's probably not going to change. Rogers is not looking for Pickford Rodney at the next stop. So what did we have you doing? You were... Okay, I don't think I have an SOP for you, do I? Nosh die.
No, I don't think you have an SOP for me either.
Okay. Well, is there anything he's going to be searching for at Campeche?
No, I think at that point I'll just go into my routine of watching what's coming to the harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although Although, now that I know this treasure map is somehow connected to the Amazon, I might want to poke around and see if anybody recognizes the name of the painter, for instance.
Okay, that's fair. So I'll put you down for info about the painting / Amazon. Sorry, typing.
What are we going to here to find for you, Mark?
Fame and glory, or fortune and glory.
More specifically, though.
As far as I understand, treasure.
More specifically, he is. This is where the treasury is supposed to be located. So he had the riddle, and
Right, pirate treasure.
yeah. Well, it's not pirate treasure necessarily. Well, I
Captain
guess
Morgan.
it is. Yeah, actually, it is pirate treasure.
Captain Morgan, right?
Morgan's treasure. Yeah.
Yes, so it's going to be just a big old bottle of rum.
So in this case, it is
That never
actually the culmination of his treasure map plot thread. All right, so we know what Payne's doing. That's
weeping about
actually, do we?
the one who got away.
Okay, what is Payne actually going to do when he gets there? What's the plan?
Set up on the leads.
So you've got the riddle. If you figure that out, you've got the compass.
What was the riddle?
I'm trying to think if there's any research or anything like that you need to do, but I guess not. Hayden's doing passive search, I guess, for Matthew.
What was the riddle? Is that on his quests?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, Morgan's riddle. Higher ground, safe and sound, setting sun, second gun.
What about Spencer? What was he doing?
Tagging along at the moment because this isn't his
he's just doing
destination.
trade stuff, commerce.
Yes. And may mention the other location as a down the road thing.
Yeah, I kind of suspect on the 6 days or 7 days, however long this voyage takes, you may have the discussion about where to go next after this, because you're going to have to start working toward that end once you get to Campeche. This is the end of the stop, and actually, this is the end of the entire voyage that you had planned so far. So I think the only two that I'm going to need a search roll for are probably Hayden and Rogers. So what I'll do is have you guys roll IQ into the box, and it may replace that with a skill, depending on how that works. Spencer's doing commerce, but I can do that roll separately. Okay, so noted. They're writing down. All right, and that will get me ahead on that part, and I think that's it. So,
I got one other thing. I'm trying to type up real quick. Basically, Payne will have left her a letter. But no ill will. That he does feel poorly that she was used. But he did, and that she was played as a pawn by the, scoundrel Bossanod. But
do you want to put some nice poetry in it?
Yeah, poetry. But that he did thoroughly enjoy. There. That he did thoroughly enjoy spending all the time with her, and that whatever ill machinations Bossanard may have had, the time spent with her made it all worth it. And that if he does come through Havana again, that he would definitely, desire to meet with her again.
But she's going to get married.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. And with that, if you're watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Like and subscribe and all that. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Stream.
The